Welcome to Wrestling Sphere, where we bring you untold stories behind the bright lights of WWE. In professional wrestling, fans usually focus on strength, thrilling matches, or spectacular performances, but rarely get to see the personal lives and struggles of the superstars. Today, we'll take a closer look at WWE wrestlers who openly identified as lesbian or bisexual, people who had the courage to live authentically, break stereotypes, and become a powerful source of inspiration for the community. These are not just career stories, but journeys of self-acceptance. Number 1. Paige. When fans think of Paige, they often recall one of the most influential female superstars of WWE's modern era. With her rebellious anti-diva persona, striking black hair, and gothic style, Paige changed the way audiences viewed women's wrestling. But beyond her groundbreaking career and unique character, she surprised many when she revealed another side of herself, that she is bisexual. To most fans, Paige seemed to only date men, most notably her high-profile relationship with former WWE star Alberto Del Rio. This led many to assume she was straight. However, during an episode of the reality show Total Divas, Paige openly admitted that she is bisexual. That revelation quickly became a major talking point, not only because it showed her openness but also because it demonstrated her courage in an industry that has historically been conservative. What made that moment even more meaningful was the way Paige expressed it, naturally, without hesitation. She presented it as just a normal part of her life, sending a powerful message that gender and sexuality don't define someone's worth or talent. For LGBTQ+ fans, her admission was deeply inspiring, because Paige, an international star, helped break down barriers and made many feel seen and understood. And she didn't stop there. Through her lifestyle and actions, Paige continued to show respect for diversity. She never tried to hide who she was, nor did she let negative reactions derail her career. Instead, she solidified her place in WWE and beyond. From fierce battles in the ring to her personal journey of self-discovery, Paige has always carried herself with confidence and strength. Looking back, her decision to speak out wasn't just a personal moment, but a step forward for WWE as a whole. The company, once criticized for its one-dimensional portrayals of women, now had a female star proudly embracing her true identity. This helped pave the way for greater diversity in how female wrestlers could be represented. In the end, Paige wasn't only a game-changer inside the ring, but also a symbol of freedom, individuality, and courage. Her coming out as bisexual proves that true superstars shine not just through achievements, but also through honesty and the bravery to live as their authentic selves. Number 2. Patterson. Few figures in WWE history had as much impact both inside and outside the ring as Patterson. Not only was he a legendary performer and a WWE Hall of Famer, but he was also one of the creative masterminds behind some of the company's most iconic moments. Patterson was the creator of the Royal Rumble, one of WWE's most beloved annual events. He also helped craft legendary matches, including the epic WrestleMania 6 showdown between Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. His influence extended far beyond wrestling, shaping WWE's direction for decades. But Patterson's story isn't defined by his career alone. He was also one of the first openly gay wrestlers in the industry, though the journey to live openly was far from easy. While his colleagues and those close to Vince McMahon knew the truth, Patterson never addressed his sexuality publicly until June 12, 2014, on WWE's Legends House. In that moment, he finally shared what he had kept private for so long. He was gay. In his memoir, Accepted, Patterson reflected on his complicated youth. He recalled trying to fit in by dancing with girls, but never feeling a genuine connection. He admitted that from an early age he knew he wasn't attracted to women, even though he admired their beauty. When he eventually told his father he was in love with a man, the reaction was devastating. His father angrily told him never to return home. Patterson left that day and never looked back. Despite the pain, Patterson also found love. He shared decades of his life with Luis Dondero, his longtime partner. Their bond remained strong through life's highs and lows until Dondero's passing in 1998. That loss left Patterson heartbroken, but their love continues to be remembered as a testament to loyalty and true partnership. Patterson's story goes far beyond wrestling. He proved that talent and dedication can leave an eternal legacy, while also serving as a role model for living authentically. In an environment once resistant to diversity, Patterson helped open doors for future generations to embrace their truth. To WWE, he remains a creative genius. To the LGBTQ+ community, he is a symbol of strength and authenticity. Number 3. Chris Kanyon. In wrestling, Chris Kanyon was remembered for his trademark catchphrase, "Who better than Kanyon?" A statement that was both confident and defiant. Yet his WWE career never unfolded as many hoped. Despite having solid skills and creativity, Kanyon was never given the spotlight he deserved. After a short run in the early 2000s, he was released by WWE in 2003, leaving both himself and fans who valued his talent disappointed. What made Kanyon stand out was his complicated personal story. Throughout his career, he often hinted at being gay. At times, he openly admitted it, only to later backtrack, dismissing it as a gimmick for his character. That back and forth reflected the fear and pressure many wrestlers faced at a time when the wrestling world was far less accepting of sexual orientation. After leaving WWE, Kanyon decided to live openly. He embraced his identity and even wanted it to be part of his wrestling persona. In 2006, in a desperate attempt to gain attention and earn a new WWE contract, Kanyon showed up unannounced at a WWE event. Holding up provocative signs that read, "Triple H, ask Vince why he really fired me," and "Sean, pray for my gay soul," Kanyon used the moment to protest while fully affirming who he was. Unfortunately, those efforts didn't bring the results he hoped for. WWE never brought him back, and Kanyon fell deeper into crisis. Between a stalled career and overwhelming personal struggles, his despair grew. In 2010, the wrestling world was shaken by the tragic news that Chris Kanyon had taken his own life. His story remains thought-provoking. Kanyon was an unfulfilled talent, someone who longed to live authentically but was crushed by stigma and pressure. Though his life ended in tragedy, he is still remembered as a pioneering voice who helped open the door for greater acceptance in professional wrestling. Number 4. Orlando Jordan. In the mid-2000s, Orlando Jordan became a familiar name to SmackDown fans. He made his mark as a member of JBL's faction, the Cabinet, which dominated WWE during that time. With JBL's backing, Jordan quickly rose to prominence and achieved a career highlight, winning the United States Championship after defeating Chris Benoit in a heated rivalry. That title gave him recognition, even if he was never seen as a top star. What made Jordan truly unique was his openness about his sexuality during his WWE tenure. He admitted to being bisexual, something rare in an industry that was still resistant to diversity at the time. After leaving WWE, Jordan continued wrestling in TNA, where his bisexuality became part of his on-screen character. However, the way TNA portrayed it often leaned on stereotypes and even stirred controversy. Although not fully satisfied with how his persona was handled, Jordan stayed with the company until his contract ended in 2011. In a 2010 interview, he explained that his main goal was not shock value or attention, but to inspire others struggling with identity. He said, "I hope this character can help teenagers who feel lost, whether because of their skin color or their sexuality. If I can make someone's life a little easier, I'll be happy." After stepping away from the spotlight, Jordan built a quieter life. In 2013, he married an Australian woman, and together they welcomed a daughter. His story proves that even when facing prejudice, he chose to live truthfully and used his platform to inspire. For fans, he will always be remembered not only as a US champion, but also as one of the few who dared to be open when the world wasn't ready. Number 5. Darren Young. In WWE history, the name Darren Young, real name Frederick Douglass Rosser III, carries some special memories. He first appeared as a member of Nexus, the rebellious faction that shook both Raw and SmackDown. After Nexus disbanded, Young found success teaming with Titus O'Neil to form the Primetime Players. The duo brought fun and charisma to the tag division, eventually winning the WWE Tag Team Championship. Although there were moments when it seemed WWE might elevate Young to the next level, he was never given a true breakout opportunity. After years of dedication, he left WWE in 2017, continuing his passion by competing on the independent scene. What made Darren Young stand out wasn't just his career, but his personal courage. In 2013, he made history by becoming the first active WWE superstar to come out as gay while under contract with a major promotion. In an impromptu interview with the media, Young stated, "I don't think it matters. Does it change how you look at me? I just want to say I'm happy with myself. I'm comfortable with who I am. I'm happy living my dream. Some people will like it, some won't. But I'm here to enjoy life and be happy. That's what matters most." That moment became a milestone. It not only allowed Young to live authentically, but also pushed the wrestling industry toward greater openness. Still, he later voiced disappointment that WWE made no visible gestures of support for the LGBTQ community when WrestleMania 33 was held in Orlando, especially after the tragic Pulse nightclub shooting. Today, Darren Young is remembered not just as a tag team champion, but as a symbol of courage, confidence, and the importance of living openly. He proved that a wrestler can embrace who they truly are and still chase their dreams, no matter the prejudice around them. Number 6. Rosa Mendes. Among the women who spent over a decade in WWE, Rosa Mendes certainly belongs on the list. Joining the company in 2006 and departing in 2017, she played multiple roles throughout her career. While she was never consistently pushed as a top star, Rosa remained a familiar face, managing tag teams, accompanying other superstars, and at times stepping into the ring herself. Her persistence kept her presence strong in WWE for many years. One of Rosa's most memorable moments actually came outside of competition. In 2014, on the reality show Total Divas, she publicly came out as bisexual. A scene where Rosa kissed Paige and Natalya sparked plenty of discussion, as it was the first time WWE audiences saw a female wrestler openly reveal her sexuality on television. For Rosa, it wasn't a publicity stunt. It was about living truthfully and challenging stereotypes in the tough world of pro wrestling. Her openness didn't hurt her image with fans. In fact, many admired her bravery in sharing such a personal part of her life. That choice made Rosa one of the few female wrestlers at the time to represent sexual diversity in WWE, helping pave the way for others to speak freely about their identities later on. Outside the ring, Rosa also experienced important life changes. In 2016, she and her fiancé Bobby Sabensky welcomed their daughter, Jordan Elizabeth. Motherhood gradually led Rosa to step away from wrestling, focusing instead on her family and new life beyond WWE. Looking back, Rosa Mendes may not have been one of WWE's biggest female stars, but her journey is still significant. From a steady presence in the company for more than a decade to her courageous decision to come out as bisexual, Rosa deserves recognition as someone who helped shift the perception of diversity in professional wrestling. Number 7. Sonya Deville. Born and raised in New Jersey, Daria Baronato, known to WWE fans as Sonya Deville, has never been someone who lets barriers hold her back. Before stepping into professional wrestling, she was an MMA fighter, often competing as the only woman in certain events. Constantly underestimated, she developed resilience and an unbreakable determination. Her big break came in 2015 on WWE Tough Enough. There, she impressed with both her skills and her strong personality. But what truly made headlines was a candid interview moment. When asked about her personal life, she casually replied, "I don't have a wife, but I have a girlfriend." With that one sentence, Daria became the first openly gay female wrestler in WWE history, a groundbreaking moment for both her and the company. After officially joining WWE as Sonya Deville, she quickly caught attention with her hard-hitting style and intense presence. She became part of Absolution alongside Paige and Mandy Rose, a heel faction that made waves on Raw. Although the group disbanded after Paige was forced to retire due to injury, Sonya continued to grow her career while staying true to her tough, fearless image. What sets Sonya apart is the consistency between who she is in real life and her on-screen persona. She has never shied away from sharing her journey, nor allowed prejudice to dim her ambition. From her MMA days fighting twice as hard to be recognized, to her WWE career as an openly gay superstar, Sonya has shown that courage and perseverance can carve out a unique path. Today, Sonya Deville is remembered not just as a talented wrestler, but also as a symbol of strength, confidence, and authenticity. Number 8. Matt Cage. In the independent wrestling scene, the name Matt Cage left a lasting impression. Though he never performed on WWE's main stage or in the biggest promotions, he built a respectable career through persistence and individuality. Cage competed for well-known indie organizations such as Dragon Gate USA and IWA Mid-South, delivering thrilling matches filled with both technical skill and personality. Many believed that with the right timing, he could have broken into larger promotions worldwide. But Matt Cage's legacy isn't defined only by his in-ring ability. In 2015, at the age of 30, he took a bold step by coming out as gay through a straightforward message on social media. It was a significant moment. Within professional sports, where masculinity is often viewed as the standard, an independent wrestler openly embracing his identity was a rarity. His honesty not only affirmed his true self but also inspired countless fans struggling with their own identity. Cage proved that strength isn't just measured by muscle or victories in the ring, but also by the courage to live authentically, regardless of outside judgment. After coming out, Cage continued to perform at indie shows, staying true to his passion for wrestling. While he never became a mainstream superstar, within the fan community he is remembered as a pioneer, brave, genuine, and steadfast. Matt Cage's journey shows that sometimes the greatest legacy a wrestler can leave behind isn't championships or worldwide fame, but changing perspectives and opening doors for acceptance and freedom in wrestling. Number 9. Chyna. When talking about WWE's female legends, no one can overlook the name Chyna, the woman celebrated as the ninth wonder of the world. Joanie Laurer, her real name, completely changed the way fans viewed women in wrestling. In an era where women were often sidelined or underestimated, Chyna broke every barrier, competing head-to-head with men and even defeating some of the company's biggest names. These achievements made her one of the most powerful icons WWE had ever seen. Chyna wasn't just a competitor in women's matches. She became the first female to enter the Royal Rumble and one of the very few women to win the Intercontinental Championship, a groundbreaking accomplishment at the time. Her victories opened the door for future generations, proving that gender lines inside the ring could be erased with enough talent and determination. Yet behind the spotlight was a turbulent life. After leaving WWE, Chyna pursued new ventures, capitalizing on her fame in various industries, including adult entertainment. In that space, she appeared in scenes with both men and women, sparking debate about her true sexuality. Some viewed it as Chyna embracing openness and bisexuality, while others believed it was simply a career choice during difficult times. Whatever the truth may be, Chyna always lived her life on her own terms, strong, direct, and unafraid of judgment. Her story inspires but also carries a sense of tragedy, as personal struggles sometimes overshadowed her incredible career. Chyna will forever be remembered as a trailblazer who redefined women's roles in professional wrestling. Regardless of the debates surrounding her personal life, her legacy stands as proof of courage and defiance. Number 10. Shelley Martinez. Shelley Martinez entered WWE in 2006 under the persona Ariel, managing Kevin Thorne in a dark, vampire-themed storyline on ECW. With her gothic style, sensual presence, and a look unlike any of her peers, Martinez quickly made herself stand out. However, her WWE run ended sooner than expected. In 2007, she was suddenly released, and later claimed her departure stemmed from backstage conflicts with Batista. After leaving WWE, Martinez didn't give up on wrestling. She continued her career in TNA under the name Salinas, working alongside the faction LAX, and also appeared for various independent promotions. Though she never regained the spotlight of WWE, she remained an active figure in the women's wrestling scene until her retirement in 2017. Beyond the ring, Shelley Martinez drew attention for her off-screen ventures, particularly when fans discovered her involvement in adult videos. In some appearances, she performed with other women, fueling speculation about her being bisexual. For some, it was clear evidence of her orientation. For others, it was simply a financial decision during a challenging time after WWE. Regardless of interpretation, Martinez never shied away from expressing her bold personality and living freely. That fearless attitude made her stand out as a rebellious figure who didn't fit the mold of her era. Looking back today, Shelley Martinez is remembered not only for her short WWE tenure, but also for her audacity and willingness to go against the grain. While her wrestling career may not have reached the top, she left behind a lasting impression as someone who embodied freedom, individuality, and the courage to walk her own path. Number 11. The Grand Wizard. In the 1970s and early 80s, WWF saw the dominance of three legendary managers, often called the Three Wise Men: Classy Freddie Blassie, Captain Lou Albano, and Ernie Roth, best known to fans as the Grand Wizard. If Blassie was famous for arrogance and Albano for his wild eccentricity, Roth brought his own unique flair, sharp, polished, and always able to turn his protégés into irreplaceable stars. Before donning the colorful robes and trademark sunglasses of the Grand Wizard, Roth managed the legendary Sheik under the name Abdullah Farouk. Once he joined WWF, he quickly built his reputation with captivating promos and a shrewd approach to management. Under his guidance, names like Don Morocco, superstar Billy Graham, Stan Stasiak, and the feared tag team of Mr. Fuji and Professor Toru Tanaka all captured major championships. His cunning strategies and keen eye for talent made him one of the most vital figures of wrestling's golden era. The Grand Wizard's career showed that a manager could be just as powerful as the wrestlers themselves. He didn't need to step in the ring. His presence alone drew hatred from the crowd, while elevating his clients into unstoppable forces. Sadly, Roth's life ended too soon. In 1983, he died of a heart attack at just 57. His sudden passing left a massive void in wrestling, as he wasn't just a manager, but a piece of WWF history. Only after his death did the public learn that Roth was openly gay in his personal life. In a time when society was far less accepting, his willingness to live authentically earned him even greater respect. Today, the Grand Wizard is remembered not only for his brilliance on screen, but also for his courage off it. He proved that a legacy can extend beyond matches, a legacy of honesty, strength, and individuality. Number 12. Jim Barnett. When it comes to powerful figures behind the curtain in professional wrestling history, Jim Barnett's name cannot be overlooked. Though he started as a wrestler, Barnett quickly realized his true strength lay in management, promotion, and building companies. From there, he became one of the most influential minds in the business, leaving an imprint not just in the US but around the world. In the 1960s, Barnett and his partner ran World Championship Wrestling in Australia. Under his leadership, wrestling exploded in popularity, becoming one of the country's top entertainment attractions. His business instincts and deep understanding of audiences turned Australia into a major wrestling hub outside North America. This success earned Barnett industry-wide respect and opened doors for him to hold even more powerful roles. Returning to the United States, Barnett continued to cement his reputation, taking on key positions within the National Wrestling Alliance and eventually becoming president of Georgia Championship Wrestling, one of the most influential promotions of its era. With his experience, Barnett not only grew companies but also shaped major trends in the industry, laying the groundwork for WWF/WWE's later boom. Despite his success, Barnett's personal life was often the subject of quiet discussion. Within the wrestling world, his sexuality was considered an open secret. He was gay, but at a time when society carried heavy prejudice, he never officially came out to the public. Still, those who worked with him knew, understood, and respected his choice. Looking back, Jim Barnett wasn't just a powerful promoter, he was also an example of resilience in a ruthless business. Though he never openly declared his sexuality, his decision to live authentically in private showed real courage. Barnett left behind a dual legacy, one as a visionary businessman who shaped wrestling's growth, and another as a man who stayed true to himself, even when the world wasn't ready to accept it. Number 13. Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler is one of the most formidable and unique women WWE has ever had. Before stepping into the world of professional wrestling, she was already a standout in mixed martial arts, competing in the UFC with a grappling-heavy style and devastating submission holds. That strong MMA background helped Baszler transition seamlessly to WWE, where she quickly earned a reputation as a true submission machine. In NXT, Baszler rose to prominence by capturing multiple women's championships and building the nickname, the Queen of Spades. Every time she appeared, she carried an aura of cold intensity, ruthless precision, and unshakable confidence, traits that made opponents tread carefully. She didn't just win with strength, but with calculated skill, a reflection of someone who had fought through real battles inside the octagon. Beyond her success in the ring, Shayna Baszler made headlines by openly embracing her place within the LGBT community. Rather than weakening her image, it reinforced her fearless and independent persona. In an industry where not everyone feels comfortable sharing their truth, Baszler's openness was seen as an act of courage, proving she wasn't just fighting opponents, she was also standing strong for who she really is. Baszler has since become a source of inspiration, especially for LGBT fans who see her as a symbol of freedom and determination. For her, it's about more than championships or accolades. It's about sending the message that you can be whoever you want to be as long as you're brave enough to live authentically and fight for yourself. That's what makes Shayna Baszler not only a WWE star, but also an emblem of courage and pride. Number 14. Mercedes Martinez. Mercedes Martinez is one of the most seasoned women wrestlers still active in the modern era, with a career spanning over 2 decades. Long before arriving in WWE, she was already a fixture on the independent scene, where she earned respect through her technical mastery, fierce in-ring style, and uncompromising fighting spirit. To peers and fans alike, Martinez wasn't just a tough opponent. She was one of the best technical wrestlers in America, paving the way for future generations of women to thrive in a demanding profession. When she finally joined WWE, her tenure wasn't lengthy, but it was impactful. Martinez stood out with her calm demeanor, veteran presence, and sharp decisiveness inside the ring. She brought a different energy, part battle-hardened veteran, part role model of resilience and passion. Every time she stepped between the ropes, it felt less like a single contest and more like the culmination of years of grit and determination. What makes Mercedes Martinez even more remarkable is her openness about being gay. For her, it was never something to hide, it was a vital part of her identity. Living authentically and embracing her truth in the public, I made her not only a symbol of physical strength, but also of independence, confidence, and freedom. In an industry where image pressures are constant, Martinez's choice highlighted both her bravery and her conviction. To the wrestling community, Martinez represents more than experience. She stands as a voice for diversity and acceptance, proving that professional wrestling is a place for everyone, regardless of gender, identity, or orientation. While her WWE stint was brief, the legacy she leaves behind endures: a resilient warrior, an inspiring woman, and a proud representative of the LGBT community in wrestling. Number 15. Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose may not have had a lasting run in WWE, but few realize that she was once on the company's radar during a trial phase before ultimately finding her true path in AEW. With her imposing frame, powerful in-ring style, and commanding presence, Nyla quickly stood out as a name fans remembered from the very beginning of her journey on the big stage. What truly set her apart was becoming the first transgender woman in history to capture a world championship in a major North American wrestling promotion, a groundbreaking milestone no one before her had ever achieved. Her journey, however, was anything but easy. Both her gender identity and sexual orientation sparked heavy debate, especially in a tradition-driven and unforgiving industry like wrestling. Yet instead of letting prejudice hold her back, Nyla proved herself through sheer talent and relentless determination. Inside the ring, she wasn't just a powerhouse who made opponents cautious. She also showed fans that skill, resilience, and dedication are what truly define a star. Nyla Rose's impact goes far beyond championship victories. She has become a living symbol of diversity and equality in professional wrestling. Her presence serves as a reminder that there is space for everyone in the ring, no matter who they are or where they come from. By openly embracing her identity while achieving success, she has given strength to countless members of the LGBT community, showing them that dreams can be pursued without hiding who they are. While her WWE dream never materialized, Nyla Rose still deserves recognition as an icon. Because sometimes, the value of a star isn't measured by the company they wrestle for, but by how they change perceptions for an entire community. Simply by stepping into the ring, living authentically, fighting with heart, and triumphing, Nyla has become an inspiration to fans across the globe. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Wrestling Sphere so you won't miss other exciting stories from the world of WWE.